Welcome to Yin. So we'll start. And this morning, if you're new to Yin and you've never practiced Yin with me before, Yin Yoga is a slower paced class. We work on holding postures to enter and get into the connective tissue, the muscle tissue, the fascia. It helps create flexibility and mobility. We work with exploring discomfort. Not pain, but discomfort. And with that being said, make sure you're not feeling pain or any discomfort in any joints. For example, your knee joint, your shoulder joint, your hips, any sharp pains anywhere, or any pinching. Make sure you're not feeling any pinching. But we're going to start in a seated position. I'd like you to sit up tall, maybe allow some length in your spine, maybe allow the back of your hands to rest on your knees and the palms face up. You can allow your eyes to close or your gaze to soften. And taking this moment not to change anything, but just to witness how your body is feeling this morning or this afternoon when you practice with me later. Do you feel at ease today? Do you feel weak today? Do you feel strong today? Notice without judgment. Notice what you have arrived with on your mat. And take a deep inhale through your nose and hold your breath at the very top of your inhale. And then exhale, let it all out through your mouth. Again, deep inhale through your nose, holding your breath at the very top of your inhalation. And exhaling it all out through your mouth. Last time on your own, deep inhale in. Long exhale out. And now we'll practice moving our breath up and down our spine. So just take this moment to bring attention here to your sitting bones, to your connection with your mat, to the base of your spine. And with each inhale that you take, allow your breath to move up from your root, along the back of your spine and all the way up into the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, drawing the breath up from the crown of your head all the way down into the base of your spine. Just seeing if you can feel that movement. No need to see anything, but see if you can feel versus visualize. Or maybe you can do both. Maybe you can visualize and feel your breath moving. And as you begin to center with your breath, notice your mind beginning to develop focus, maybe clarity, maybe stillness. And in today's asana, physical yoga practice, we are going to work with this movement of breath along the spine. In your own time, I'd like you to transition to a hands and knees position. If you'd like to take a blanket and bring it underneath your knees for support, if you're on a hard floor, this kind of protects your knee joints. But finding a soft hands and knees position. From your hands and knees, we're going to work with a wide-legged child's pose, so two big toes come together, knees open. Now, I like to start with more of a shallow distance here, not letting my knees come out too wide to start, but a soft distance for my hips. Send your sitting bones back down towards your heels. Allow your arms to stretch out long in front of you. If your knees are bothering you here, again, blanket underneath the knees, or if the back of your knees are bothering you, you can place a pillow or even another blanket behind your knees. But allowing the arms to stretch out in front of you. Maybe your forehead touches your mat. Maybe you take a pillow or a block or a book, or even your hands if you wish. If your forehead is having a hard time making connection to the mat, allow your forehead to rest on something. Allow your feet to be relaxed. Soften through your calves and through your knees, allowing your tailbone to drop towards your heels, allowing your head to be relaxed. And on each exhalation, see if you can soften more into the pose. As you feel your breath moving up and down your spine, no need to be anywhere but right here with your body, with your breath, and on your mat. Just beginning to center. Try to find complete stillness. The movement that occurs will occur in your physical body from your breath. Maybe you allow your knees here to widen just a little bit more, or maybe you allow your knees to come in more, or maybe you keep your knees the same. Beginning to work within your hip space, finding a place between stira, sweetness, and sukha. Stira, strength, stretch. Sukham, softness, sweetness, juiciness. Allowing your whole body to melt. Release whatever tension that you're holding on to through your exhale. About 8 more breaths here. Take a deep inhale in through your nose and a long exhale through your mouth. Again, deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale out through your mouth. Inhale, come forward to a hands and knees position, removing any props that you may have out from underneath you. And transitioning onto your belly. From your belly position, your hands can either rest underneath your forehead or your arms can rest behind you. Once you find your belly position, again, deep inhale through your nose. Long exhale through your mouth. And just feeling the residue of your posture. Feeling the weight of your body on your mat. On your next inhalation, we're gonna move into Sphinx Pose. So in Sphinx Pose, bringing your forearms out in front of you, palms facing down, chest lifted, gaze forward here. Make sure that your elbows underneath your shoulders. You don't want the elbows too far out. You want the elbows in, close to your body. In your Sphinx Pose, working your way there. No rush in getting there. And once you settle into your pose, allow the hardness of your belly just to soften. And here in your belly, I'd like you to imagine a yellow flower deep within your navel. Soften your belly. No need to keep holding or contracting this area. With each exhale, feel the layers of the tension in your body dissolve. allowing any struggles to drop away. Just breathe to release any overproducing. Breathe to release any keeping up. Breathe beyond the skin, your bones, and the identity that you give yourself. And just relax here into your completeness. About 8 more breaths here. If you need to come out at any time, do so. Breathing with a long, slow breath. Take a deep inhale in, long exhale out. And release back onto your belly here. Hands can come underneath the forehead as you rest your cheek to one side, or arms can move back behind you. Feeling the weight of your body on your mat. Allowing your hands to frame your chest. Press up here to a hands and knees position and make your way to seated. So come to a seated position that is comfortable for you. And for a moment here, just check in with your body. Notice what it feels like to be upright again. Moving into Dragonfly Pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. Moving in diamond and then into Dragonfly. Extend your right leg out next to you. So this right leg is going to come off of your mat. So you don't want your foot in front of your hip. You want it externally rotating your hip over. Now take your left foot, bring it to the inside of your right thigh. Now in Hatha Yoga, I will always tell you to keep your feet flexed. Here, let your feet relax and do what they wish here. But allow your knees and your toes to stay pointed up to the sky or to the ceiling. Allowing your hands to come right in front of you. Sitting up tall, take a moment here to bring your attention back to your breath moving up and down the spine. Again, with each inhalation, your breath is moving up. With each exhale, your breath is moving down. See if you can find your breath here. We will continue to observe the same sensation as we work our way, sensation of breath, as we work our way into our next posture. So you can stay here if you're feeling quite enough here, or you can allow your arms to walk out in front of you, hinging from your hips, trying to keep the length in your spine. When we keep the length in our spine, our body, our breath can help freely move the flow of energy. Continuing to witness the sensation of your breath moving up and down your spine. Maybe with each exhalation, you walk your hands out farther, maybe you release onto your forearms, or maybe you do less or stay the same. With each inhalation, you're finding maybe a tad bit more length in your spine, leading with your heart. Continue to witness here your breath in your body as you notice the sensations that are arising in your body from your asana, from your pose. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands up your body. Rising up, shoulders sitting over hips, spine long, chest lifted. Allow the soles of your feet to come back together, extending here your left leg out next to you. Bringing your right foot into the inside of your left thigh. Sitting up tall, allow your hands to come in front of you. Remember, leg is out long. This side might already feel different than the other. This hip might already feel different than the other hip. Remember, keeping the toes up towards the ceiling, knees up. Try to slowly work your way into your posture, into the full variation of your posture slowly. So not throwing your body forward. When you're ready, sitting up tall, just reconnecting back with your breath before you make any movement, reconnecting with your breath, moving along your spine. Now, with your next exhalation, hinging from your hips, keeping your spine long, leading with your heart, you can walk your hands forward. Continuing to witness the movement that arises in your body from your breath. Feeling each sensation in your physical body that arises from your asana, from your pose. Maybe with each exhalation, you walk your hands out farther, do more, do less, or stay the same. Few more breaths here. On your next inhalation, rising up, walking your hands up towards your body. Extending both legs out in front of you. Transition here onto your back. So make your way here onto your back. And just notice the heaviness of your body and the shesha, the residue of your asana, of your pose. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And a long exhale through your mouth. Twice more, deep inhale in. Long exhale through your mouth. Again. Now we'll move into an upright sleeping swan pose. You can also work with a supine pigeon, and I'll just demonstrate really quickly. So we know supine pigeon here. If you don't want to work in an upright position, so this will be the variation that you take if you are doing a supine. And then once you release, you'll just extend your legs out long. Or you can come to hands and knees with me. You can roll to one side, come up to seated, or come to hands and knees. And if you need to place a blanket underneath your knees for support, we're gonna work in sleeping swan, or maybe you're working in a supine on your back pigeon posture. So from your hands and knees position, you're going to take your right knee and bring it right in between your hands like so. Then you'll tuck your back toe, slide your back foot back, and we'll stay in this upright posture. Now I'll give you the opportunity to go lower here. Now in this position, I'm just gonna sit really quickly to face you. As you lower, what happens is sometimes the hips like to tilt. So if you find that you're tilting and leaning and you want some support, you can slide a blanket, like either underneath your hip, or underneath your glute, or both. Sometimes we like to lean, so that might help you stay upright. So with the right leg forward, you may use a prop, you may not need to. You can stay up tall, and remember, if you're feeling any pain in that front knee joint, I invite you to take that supine on your back variation. With hands underneath your shoulders to start, just begin to experience the sensations that is arising from your posture now. Observing your breath moving along your spine. Maybe you'd like to stay up tall today, or maybe you'd like to lower down onto your forearms. I like to take my hands in a prayer position here. You can even collapse your hands as well. But take it where it needs to be, not looking to chase, but trying to find a place where we can cultivate stillness. And with each exhale, just softening a little bit more as you settle in your pose. Just continue your breath. About 4 more breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly begin to rise up onto your hands. If you're in your supine on your back position, release. If you're on your back, you're going to stay on your back. If you're in your sleeping swan, you're going to rise up to hands and knees, lower onto your belly. Hands can rest underneath your forehead. Witness the difference or the similarities between the two sides of your body. Just observing without judgment. Observing the energy in our right leg. Take a deep inhale in. Long exhale out. When you're ready, we'll do the same thing on the other side. If you're in the supine, maybe you stay in the supine. Or if you came out of your upright position because your knee, maybe this knee won't bother you. Maybe you want to try doing the upright, and then if that doesn't work, trying that same supine. This time, left knee will move in between your hands, from your hands and knees, sliding your foot back. Now maybe this side you might need to come into that same supine position, or maybe you need to try supine here that you haven't done on the other side, or maybe you just stay here and you're comfortable here. Whichever variation that you choose, find and try to settle into your pose. Again, using props as needed to prop up any area of your body. And then slowly, when you're ready, you can stay up tall, or you can lower down onto your forearms, or even bring your hands underneath your forehead. You can also stretch your arms straight out long in front of you as well. But witnessing your breath moving along your spine. A few more breaths here. When you're ready, inhaling, rising up here onto your hands, making your way onto your belly or releasing from your supine pose, laying on your back. Hands can come back behind your cheek and rest to one side, or hands can come underneath your forehead. Take a deep inhale in, long exhale out. However you do so, make your way here onto your back. So you can roll over onto your back, or if you're on your back, stay there. You can choose to keep your knees bent or extend your legs out in front of you, just whatever feels nice for your body and for your back body. If you feel tightness or pulling in your low back, with your legs out long, bend your knees. If you don't feel any of that, you can extend your legs. Arms will come down by your side for a moment. Just tuning in, checking in with your body, noticing how it feels now. On your next exhalation, allow your right knee to move up and into your chest. Good. Now we'll create a little bit of movement here with our right knee. If you'd like to, you can kind of draw your right knee in a circular motion, kind of opening up your hip, closing off the hip, finding movement in your hip. Maybe changing that rotation of your movement. Then finding stillness here. Arms will move down by your side. Extend your right leg in the air. If your left hip is bothering you, bend your left knee. This will feel a lot more comfortable, but if you'd like more sensation, extend your left leg. And then we'll find rotation in our ankle, just rotating our ankle. Our right leg doesn't have to be straight, but if you want to straighten it, you can straighten it. If you straighten your leg, you'll feel more sensation in your hamstring. Now, if your left knee, find stillness in your right ankle. If your left knee is extended out in front of you, bend your knee. There is a wall right here next to me, so I'm gonna have to turn. But I'd like you to take your right leg and just allow it to kind of cross over your left and finding that same rotation in your ankle. And if you want to, you can even relax your leg over like you're sitting crisscross. Changing the rotation of your ankle. Finding stillness in your ankle, bringing your leg to center, and then hugging your right knee into your chest really tight. Extend your left leg and switch it out. Left knee in, right leg extends. Again, finding that same rotation in our hip this time. Rotating our left hip, finding movement in the hip, opening and closing our hip. Maybe even changing the direction of your rotation. Finding stillness, you can allow your hands to release and extend your left leg up. If your right hip is bothering you, if you feel too much pulling, you can bend your right knee. It's a lot more comfortable. And then again, finding rotation here in your ankle. You could choose to straighten your leg for more stretch in your hamstring, or for more relax, just allow your left knee to micro bend. Finding stillness in your ankle. You can allow your left leg to cross over your right thigh. If your right leg is extended, bend your right knee. You can find rotation in your ankle, or you can cultivate stillness. Bring your leg back to center and hug your left knee into your chest. Right leg extends. Breathe here. And then bring both knees into your chest, hug them in. You can find movement here, maybe moving your knees forward and back, or in a circular motion, checking in with your low back. Good. And then releasing the soles of your feet onto your mat, and then finding your comfortable Shavasana position. You can lie on your back, on your side, or your belly. If you have a wall, you can even put your legs up the wall. But let your position be comfortable. Maybe you take your hair ties out. Maybe you change the lighting. Maybe you add a blanket or something to cover up your eyes. Make your Shavasana comfortable for you. And you are in your own space. You're practicing in your space. So make use of your space. Hold your own space. Use props. What's next to you? Turn lighting up. Maybe close the blinds a little bit. But wherever you are in your position today, see if you can allow your body to soften, and see if you can find stillness. Maybe you allow your eyes to close or your gaze to soften. Maybe checking in with your body again, noticing how it's feeling now. And once you find your position, take a deep breath in, just to welcome all aspects as yourself, as you are. And a long exhale, just to dissolve and to release into your Shavasana. Letting go of all preconceived ideas of what this practice, the Shavasana practice, should be like for you today. No need to control your experience that you're having in your Shavasana today. No need to no need to edit or censor what is coming up for you today. Accept what you observe and what is happening. Staying with your breath. Stay without trying to control. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. That's why it's called a practice. Just come back to your breath. Notice the weight here of your body. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And a long exhale through your mouth. Maybe beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes here, waking up your physical body. Beginning to stretch out and or make your way to one side as you lie on your side. Beginning to make your way to a comfortable seated position. Taking your time as you move. Allowing your hands to move to your heart center, to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale to your heart. Honor yourself in your practice. Give your body and mind thanks. And thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Namaste. Thank you all for continuing to practice yoga with me. Keep an eye out on the schedule, on my schedule, for that Tuesday online class, maybe changing to a meditation or mindful movement class. Very gentle yoga and meditation. Also, I'm teaching a yoga for anxiety workshop on the 13th. This class, all of my classes will be recorded, so if you can't join live, I can send those to you if you sign up. That's September 13th. And then I also have a crystals and gem workshop that is coming up in October. So if you're interested in crystals and stones and gems, that is there too. But thank you for practicing with me. You can follow me on social media, Yoga with Serena on Facebook and on Instagram. Again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions, please reach out. And I'll also be sending you the recording if you're here with me today. So you'll have it if you want to practice it again or whatever. So thank you.
Thank you, Serena.
Thank you. Oh, and then Susan asked a question. Does the rain influence your practice? Yes, I think so. I think it makes me want to do more gentle, more slower practices. And if we think of rain washes everything away. It's cleansing, and it releases any negative energy. And I think it was perfect that it rained on the full moon, because we just got that just release of negativity. I don't know if anyone else felt that, but I know I sure did. Thank you.